Okay. But when we don't know about the population non-probability method, that's why the different non-probability methods are there, such as quota sampling, purposive sampling, small snowball sampling, like that. Self-selection sampling, like that. Therefore, when we go to the probability method, we should consider about our availability of the sampling frame. If you don't have the sampling frame, it's the problem. And also the decision about the suitable sample size, we should decide. And also select the appropriate the the, the, the techniques and the sample, which method and the technique should be like that you should know. And check the sampling or the representativeness in our sample, how many of them are and whether you are corrected all of those. However, actually, to get the information about the population size like that, if we are using a particular database and all, some available databases also having an issues, then everything will be messed up. But that's why you should think about the available data. And also the extent of possible generalization from the sample, possible generalization and validity and the reliability and avoidance of biases. Validity and reliability and the avoidance of biases may be there. That's why when you go to sample size, we are taking the margin of error, and if we know about the population size, we can compute our sample size. Here, very easy. Just look at your study population size, and at the 95 level of confidence, then what is the sample size, like that. For example, here, if your sample size is 5,000, here the 5,000, then under the 95 level, the two-tailed test, the 2,5 is there. What is your sample size is 1,176. If your samples population size is 1,000, and if you are considering the margin of error as 5%, your sample is 278, like that. Okay. Now think about your sample size. What happened? How many of them are use this Morgan table? I think during that presentations also they already commented if there are any the considerations. I think all of you know about that. Ne? Then then you can compute your sample size by using this the Morgan table. Here, however, in the case of response rate, we should analyze the non-respondent level. We call the non-respondents and the analysis of refusals. And obtaining a representative sample, how we can get it. And calculating the active response rate, actively how many of them are respondent, and estimating the response rate and the sample size. Sample size estimation, but just looking at the Morgan table, you can the compute. Just take it. And for your more information, then you can read about the sampling method also. Any questions from your side? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. I heard a voice then.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Oh yeah, then any issues, any clarification needed?
Up to now, okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Then, yeah. Okay. Now, before we are moving to the sampling techniques and all, then any questions in generally for your research report? No. Hello, is it okay? Okay, then, if so, we can have a short break. The 15 minutes break can come. Almost 8:30, no? Yeah. Have a short break. Then we can finish after that. Only 19 is there. All of them are left, no? Yeah, anyhow, then 15 minutes break. Have your break and quickly come around 8:45. We can finish. Okay. Then think about your issues. Then in overall, if you have to ask something, then you can raise your own questions as well. Okay, then. Yeah. I'll stop for 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Okay. You can have your small break and come. Hello. Hello. Shall we move? Yeah, actually, under the probability sampling methods, there are five the methods, the techniques actually. The simple random, systematic, stratified, cluster, and the multi-stage. First of all, as we know, simple random means, the randomly we are selecting the cases from the entire the population. Actually, the number may be computed from the simple random generators or the random table list, or sometimes the softwares are there even for the statistical softwares also. It provides how to compute the simple random sampling. Actually, we are using this method to get the unique information from the respondents. Actually, to use any of the probability methods, we should have a sampling frame. Okay, read this. Then number each of these case in your sampling frame with a unique number. For example, in your company, if you have 100 employees, 1 to 100, those are unique actually, independent. Then is first how we can take from this sample, from this population, how we can take a sample. First of all, we should select the first respondents randomly. Thereafter, we can go for a sampling fraction. Okay. First one is a sample, the random selection. From that point, then here and there, then according to the sampling fraction, then we can take the population, sample size. What is the sampling fraction? Actually, actual sample size should be divided by the total population. How? What is the percentage? We call them what is the percentage for the fraction. It is from that systematic sampling. Here, look at the system picture. Then, first picture 1 to 15, 1 to 15 in our system, or we are ordering them numbered into 1 to 15. After computing the order or the pattern, we can select each nth item will be selected like that. If you can see here, then green items here, this 1, 4, 7, 10, 13 like that, or else the red process. You can see the system or the pattern. That's why we call the systematic sample. Even in this picture also, you can easily understand the systematic, the pattern. Then, sorry, then can you see my screen? Yes, Nate? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Yeah. Then, sorry. Every fifth items or the sixth item in the order, then we can select here. Like how we can define them. The systematic sampling is a sample obtained by randomly selecting first element from among the first kth elements in the frame, and every kth element thereafter is called one in k systematic sample with the random start. Then look at actually the desk. Each element in the frame has an equal chance to be selected. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Actually, any form of any technique of this probability method is having an equal chance to be selected for a final sample. And If so, what is the equal chance? We call it the fraction. 1 minus is 1 divided by k. Is this a simple random sample, this the previous pattern? No, it's a systematic sample. It's another way. The simple random means the randomly we are picking the people or the respondents. No order, no system. If we have 100 items, from that 100 items, if you need 10, then just you can pick whatever the 10 or whoever the 10. Look at the order. Here the capital N is equal to 100. It is the some entire population size. From this, we want simple N equal to 20 is the sample size. Then how we can take it? First of all, we should take this fraction. It's a capital N divided by simple N. Population size divided by simple N is equal to 5. Select a random number between 1 and 5. And choose number 4. You look at 4, 9, 14, 19, 24, like this. Look at the order. Systematic pattern is there. Then you can pick these people. For example, if you are listed, the 4th one, 9th one, 14th one, 19th one, like that, the order is there. You can select all. Here, according to that random selection, if you are start from number 1, then 6, 11, like that. If you are starting from number 2, 2, 7, 12, like that. If you are starting from number 3, 8, 13, like that. Okay. Then another method is a stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling. Choose the stratification variable or variables. For example, in your ABC company, there are 3 departments. For example, HR, finance, and operations, like that. Then if you are doing an interview about the employee satisfaction, from those 3 departments, you can pick respondents in proportionate way. Why? All of the 3 departments are representing the employee of that company, like that. Then, when thereafter, we should divide the sampling frame into the discrete strata, like department A, B, C. Thereafter, number each of these cases within each stratum with a unique number. Yes, all of them are independent and unique. And by using that, we can select the people. Let us move to that calculation part. I think most of you should actually, you may have this method of sampling, stratified sampling, because different, can you see my screen now? Excel sheet. Hello.
Yes, madam.
Yes, okay. Now, actually, these are the hypothetical data. In your company, if you have, the different branches, A, B, C, D, like that, and also the population job category type 1, 2, 3, like that, Then if actually when you're selecting the respondent for your study, you should proportionately select the all of the respondents from each department or then also the branch and the job category. If not, that sample is the biased because it is not consisted about the suitable or the entire the population to the sample. For example, if my population size is 5,000 and it is distributed like this. Type A, type 1, the total count is 1,720. Then the branch A, the total employees are like that 900. Branch B, 1,600 like that. Finally, we are having 5,000 people to the total sample. Now, considering the technical terms, we can use the Morgan tables. At the 95 level of confidence, as we know, our population size is 5,000 and our sample size is 357 according to the margin of error of 5%. Okay. I think you can remember the Morgan table the previously I already shared. Okay. Then thereafter, we should proportionately compute the sample size. Our sample size is here 357 according to the Morgan table. Now, then we should proportionately pick the sample from each stratum. Actually, you can type these figures in an Excel table or in your notebook with the calculator, you can calculate. Okay. Then, as an example, write down these the given statistics of the population distribution, the distribution of 5,000 respondents here. Okay. Thereafter, we can move to compute the sample size stratifications. Okay. The Morgan table you can use to compute the full sample size. It's a 357. Thereafter, stratification we should compute. Okay, quickly write down. Then we should have a proportionate sample. Okay, look at the formula. Get the idea. C4 means the C column. C4 means the 250 divided by C8. Again, 1220 into 123. What is the 123? Here, this one. Proportionately. First of all, we should take this. Then what is the sample? Here, 18. Apart from this, the branch A type 1 category 250, within our 357 sample, we are taking 8 respondents to the sample. We are including 18 people to this category. Okay, finally, we are having 357 this size sample for our research study. Try to get an idea and compute the calculation. If you are having this kind of variations in your population, it would be better to compute by using the stratified sampling method and present your sample size calculation like this. Okay, because the data collection is very, very clear. Then your data, collected data also unbiased data. If you are following this kind of method, statistically, the proportionately, we are having very good sample. Okay, go ahead. Found it? Then look at how this 41. Look at the formula and try to get it. Okay, found it. If when you are computing these figures, if you have any error, then let me know. Then finally, 123, 141, and 93 is the categorical type 1, type 2, type 3 categories. We are having that much of the subsample, but finally, however, in overall, we are having 357 respondents to our sample. Is it clear? ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. Is it clear? Hello. Very silence.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Clear. Ah, okay. Then we can move to the PowerPoint. Then, can you see it now? PowerPoint? Okay, then. Now, cluster sampling. Actually, the clusters, we are checking or we are selecting the clusters. Choose of the cluster grouping for your sampling frame. Actually, from your sampling frame, it's a list. Then we should find out the clusters. For example, if you are working in a district in a Sri Lankan context, then divisional secretariats units may be the clusters. You should find out those people and to give the numbering and select the clusters for that. For example, from this geographical area, these are the clusters here. Then we are picking one within the cluster within the stage 3, the households are there. Here look at in now Sri Lankan context, the Sri Lanka, the province, then the districts, within the districts, the divisional secretariats, then within that, the Gramanildari divisions like that. When it goes to the Gramanildari division level, the households are there. Separately, when we are computing or the evaluating the households, within the households, the number of people are there. Likewise, you know, the like the inclusion is like that. The cluster, multi-stage sampling. Then apart from the probability, the non-probability method is there. Actually, the non-probability method, when we don't have that the accurate population characteristics, then we can use the probability, the non-probability method, like quota sampling, purposive sampling, snowball, self-selection, and the convenience sampling. For example, the quota sampling, when we are having the larger population, we are giving the chance or a small quota. And purposive means purposefully we are selecting people. And the snowball sampling, like we can take or we can identify the first respondent like a snowball, then we are like asking the second the respondent, third respondent, fourth respondent. Some book says about the respondent given sample, the same thing, like a snowball or you know the what is called bubbles. Then by connecting all, finally the big bubble may be like that snowball. Then again and again we are taking the people whatever the whenever our sample size is completed. Then self-selection and the convenient sampling methods also there. All of those things are when you are unable to access to the total population. Purposive sampling and the snowball sampling. New case identification. Then from that new case, we are asking, do you know this kind of respondents? Ah, yeah. Then again, you goes to that and collect the information. That's why the respondent given new cases, you can identify to your the total sample. Self-selection. Haphazard here and there. However, make it like the, keep it mind, probability sampling needs a sample frame, and also it is presenting us the unbiased, most probably unbiased data. The non-probability is using when we don't have that kind of sampling information, population information, or else at least the sampling frame. And sometimes because of the characteristics, the probability sampling is providing us some kind of the biased data. That's the thing. And finally, when we are doing our research project, then we should know about what are the sampling errors or the non-sampling errors. We can say the type 1 error for the sampling errors, and the type 2 error is the non-sampling error. The type 1 error is occurred because of the computation of the sample size or the designing of the sampling and those technical stuff. Actually, the statistical fluctuations are there, but because of the fluctuation, this sampling error or the type 1 error may be there. But the type 2 error is because of all the errors other than the statistical errors, like, the respondent biases when you are collecting your data from the sample, and the researcher biasnesses, some typing mistakes, the printing mistakes, the analytical mistakes, everything is belongs to type 2 error or else the non-sampling error. Then uh, finally what happened, the non-sampling errors are higher than the sampling errors because the non-sampling error can be occurred during any stage of the research process, but sampling error is happening in the designing stage because if we are taking the wrong population data, say then based on this hypothetical or the incorrect data, we are just doing everything. Then the mistakes may be in the stage, like the planning stage. However, your choice about the sampling technique depends upon the research questions and their objectives. That's why. For example, the analytical method, the scope or a population size, or then also your budget and other time limitations. All the things should be considered. Then, like, however, when we are coming like the collecting, then when you are the computing, always think about your confidence level, accuracy required, and also the likely categories for analysis. Can you remember? I already mentioned or the displayed the stratified sampling technique. When you are doing for the analysis, if you want to know about the each characteristics of the each layer and the professional level, by the professional level, you should have a representative data according to your need. If you don't have that kind of the representative data or the proportionate data, then no point to do the analysis because the data are having the biased composition. Okay. Therefore, you should keep in mind all of those things when you are doing the sampling. Actually, the major limitation, or we are saying the limitation or the the problem related to the probability method is to conduct the probability method sampling in your research. Definitely, you should have the sampling frame or a list. If you don't have the sampling frame, sometimes if you have good enough money and also the time, we are recommended to develop the sampling frame or sampling frame or the list of the sampling, and also you can include that one into your research as well as a objective. Then you already the completed. And also sampling frame is not possible, we can go for non-probability sampling method. Okay. And also, because of the limitations and all, most of the researchers are using the combination of those. For example, that stratified example, the probability and also nicely formatted, but within that sample, within that unit, then how you can going to pick the respondents. The male, females are there, then different characteristics are there. Then how you can go. In that case, actually, you can easily manage to go for a non-probability to get the information from that, the population. Okay. Then other one is, yeah, that the discussion. Yeah, let me know. All choices depend on the ability to gain access to the organizations. That's right. Ne? If you don't have the accessible power to the population, then how you are going to present the population, like the sample in your study, or how you can do that. It's a problem. Ne? Then think about any questions, any clarifications needed. Hello. ප්‍රශ්න මොන හරි තියෙනවද අහන්න? Hello. Okay, no one is there, but it says the 15 is currently engaged to the lecture. Then anyone is not. They don't have much more questions. That's why. Eh? Then how about? Shall we stop? ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද කාට හරි අහන්න? Hello, if you don't
Excuse
have any,
up to now clear, madam.
it's okay. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Supervisor එක කතා කරාම madam මේ අපිට කිව්වා convenience sampling method එකට යන්න කියලා. එතකොට අපි sample එක කොහොමද මේ observation අරගන්න ඕන හොඳ විදිය?
Convenience කියන්නේ non probability නේ. එතකොට මේක biasnesses තියෙනවා. අනිත් ප්‍රශ්නත් එක්ක convenience ගන්න ඕනම නම් ගන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට ඉතින් convenience කියන්නේ පහසු කියන එකයි. පහසු නියදී. ඒතකොට කැමති විදිහකට respond ලව තෝරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඉතින් එහෙම කරන්න එපා. biasness එක ලොකු bias වෙන්න පුළුවන් අවස්ථාවක්. ඒ හින්දා ඉතින් ඒක ඇතුළේදී පුළුවන් නම් මොන හරි ක්‍රමවේදයකට කියන්නේ අපි කෝගේ සිස්ටමැටික් හරි විදිහට යන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් කොහමද ආවට හම්බෙන පළවෙනි කීප දෙනා ඒ අදාළ sample size එක කවර් වෙනකම් වාට ඉක්මනට හම්බෙන අයගෙන් data collect කරලා ඒ වැඩේ ඉවර කරන්න.
මැඩම් sample size එක ආවේ 139ක් වගේ ඒ population එකට. එතකොට ඒ 139 අපි 150කට අපි ක්වෙස්චනයක දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා කියලා. එතකොට ඒ ගත්ත population එකෙන් අපි කැමති 150ක් එතකොට තෝරගන්න පුළුවන් specify නොකර. එහෙමද?
population එකකින් නෙමෙයි. ඒ sample population එකෙන් අඳුර ගන්නවනේ කොච්චරක්ද මොන location එකක්ද එහෙම කියලාත් නැද්ද ඔයාගේ title?
ඔව් එහෙම තියෙනවා මැඩම්. ඒ කියන්නේ island wide ගත්තාම ඒ island wide branches 12ක් තියෙනවා. ඒ 12න් එකක් තමයි මම population එක විදිහට ගන්නෙ. ඔව්.
එහෙනම් ඒකෙන් මේ වගේ sample size එක cover වෙනකන් කට්ටිය ගන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද?
හරි මැඩම්. පැහැදිලි. thank you.
තව තියෙනවද කාට හරි ප්‍රශ්න?
මැඩම් තව දෙයක් අර දැන් අපි ක්වෙස්චන් එක මැඩම් සුපර්වයිසර් එක්ක කතා කරලා සර් මේ ඕකේ කළා. එතකොට මේ මැඩම් කිව්වේ ඒක රිලයබිලිටි එක ටෙස්ට් කරන්න කියන එක. එතකොට මම රිලයබිලිටි එක ටෙස්ට් කරන්න කියන්නේ දැන් මගේ සැම්පල් සයිස් එක තියෙනවා 273ක්. එතකොට රිලයබිලිටි එක ටෙස්ට් කරන්න. එතකොට ඒකෙදි මැඩම් රිලයබිලිටි එක ටෙස්ට් කරන දැන් මේක සුපර්වයිසර් එහෙමනම් කිව්වේ නැහැ ඊළඟට ප්‍රොසීඩ් කරන්න කියලා කිව්වේ. එතකොට ඒ රිලයබිලිටි ටෙස්ට් කරන එක මැඩම් දැන් අපිට ඉස්සරහා ලෙක්චර්ස් වලදී ඒක එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරනවද?
ඔව් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරනවා. මම නෙමෙයි කරන්නේ ඊළඟ ලෙක්චරර්. data analysis කියලා කොටසක් වෙන්න ඕන. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉස්සර තිබ්බා previous batch එකටත් කරා. ඒ වෙනකොට ඊ පෙන්වන්නේ front batch alpha ඔය පොඩි measures වගේ. ඉන්ඩෙක්ස් සර්ච් කරලා වුණත් ඇත්තටම කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට reliability analysis කියලා front batch alpha. එතකොට අර අපේ indicators ටික system SPSS එකට දාපු ගමන් නිකම් උත්තරේ එනවා. cut off point එක 0.7. 0.7 වලට වඩා වැඩි උත්තර ආවොත් හොඳයි වගේ. ඒ තොරතුරුත් ඒ ප්‍රශ්නය හොඳයි. ඒක කියන්නේ අවිශ්වසනීය තොරතුරක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා කියලා ඔප්පු වෙනවා සාම්පල් එක ඇතුලේ. ඒක කරයි. ඒක කරයි.
හරි මැඩම්.
මම සරලයි ඉතින් ලොකු අමාරුවක් නැහැ. Google එකත් කොහොමද සර්ච් කරලා ලෑස්තිලා ඉන්න.
හරි
හරි,
thank you
ඒකට
madam.
මගේ කතාවට ආව මේ අදාළ මාතෘකාවක් නෙමෙයි. නමුත් මම ඕගොල්ලන්ට පොඩි ඉඟියක් දුන්නේ ඊයේ එදා. ඕගොල්ලන්ට ටක් ගාලා ලෑස්ති වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒක දිහා බලලා. ඒකයි. හෙලෝ.
Thank you madam.
ඕකේ. තව කවුද ඉන්නේ? පැටලු තියෙනව නැද්ද ඉවරද කට්ටිය? එහෙමනම් අපි අදට නවත්තමු. හරි? බලමු තාත්තේ මොකද්ද කියලා. සුපර්වයිසර්ත් එක්ක කතා කරලා ඉතාලම පැහැදිලි සුපර්වයිසර් ගනුදෙනුම යටතේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉතුරු වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යන්න. එහෙනම් මම හිතනවා බහුතරයක් ප්‍රශ්නාවලිය ඩ්‍රාෆ්ට් කරලා අඩුමතරමේ කටසටහනවත් අත්තේ තියෙන්න ඇති. නමුත් ඉතින් මේ කියපු කාරණා ඔක්කොම දිහා බලලා ප්‍රශ්නාවලිය හදලා සුපර්වයිසර්ත් එක්ක කතා කරලා අනුමැතිය අරගෙන ඉස්සරහට යන්න. හරි? එහෙමනම් මම අදට නවතින්න.
Thank you, madam.
welcome.
Thank you madam.